Hi, welcome to 365 Solutions Group training video. Today we're going to go over the process of when an employee leaves your company to make sure that you don't lose any data. You're going to have to be an Office 365 admin to complete this process, and from your Office 365 landing page, you can go to the Admin Center. From here, you go into the active users, and here you'll be able to see all of the users in your Office 365 tenant. So in this scenario, we're going to say that Anna Smith has left the company. She's given her resignation and she's walked out the door yesterday. Today's the first day that we don't want her to have access to anything. So there's a couple of steps that we need to do to make sure that she no longer has access, that the company doesn't lose any data, and that you free up a license so it's not costing you anything. So the first thing that we need to do is clicking on her user is block her sign in. And yes, we want to block this user from signing in. So that means when she gets home and opens up her company emails, she won't be able to access any of her company data because she's no longer an employee. A mistake that admins often make is going straight to deleting the user. The problem with this is that you then lose all of her emails. Any clients that are trying to email her will bounce, and you'll also not be able to retrieve any files from her OneDrive. So it's really important that we take these steps in the right order to make sure that there's no lost data. Once you've blocked her sign-in, the pressure's off. She's not accessing anything, and we can take our time with the next few steps. We need to make sure that her OneDrive files can be moved to somewhere that more other people can access them, because if you delete the license, the OneDrive goes with it. So under OneDrive in the Admin Center, you can click Access Files. Now you can do this for any user. You'll be able to go in as an admin and access the files for their personal OneDrives within the company. And clicking on that is then going to take you into a admin view of their OneDrive files. From here we can choose all of their files in OneDrive, and we can copy or move them to somewhere else in the tenant that other people can access them. In this case, we actually have a SharePoint site that has a past employee OneDrive's library. And in there we've got a folder for all of our past employees who have left, but you still want to keep a copy of their OneDrive files. So this is a great practice for as long as you make sure that the right people have access to this library. So we're going to add that folder, and we're going to copy all of these files into that library in SharePoint. So now that we've made sure that we've kept all of her OneDrive files, so we don't lose any of that, we can also make sure that we don't lose her emails. So there are a couple of things to consider around this. We can just log in and access her emails and then copy them out somewhere else, but a better way to do it is actually to convert it to a shared mailbox. So a shared mailbox is a mailbox that doesn't belong to a user. It's a mailbox like admin at or accounts at that multiple people can log into and have a look at, but it's not costing the company any licenses. So we're going to convert Anna's mailbox to a shared mailbox, and that can take a couple of minutes. But what it means is that it's just going to be a mailbox off to the side without costing a license. That was pretty quick, and it was done. So now we've moved her OneDrive files into SharePoint, and we've made sure her mailbox is a shared mailbox. And we can then delete the license off of her user. So her product licenses, we can take that away from her, and that way we can use this license for her replacement or somebody else in the company, and it's not going to cost you anything to pay for a user who's no longer here. Once we've taken that user away, the next step would logically be to delete the user, but we actually recommend that you don't delete past users immediately, as her name will still be often referenced throughout things like SharePoint files that'll say this document has been last modified by Anna. If you do delete her user at this point, then going back and looking at the files that she edited last week will actually say this file was last modified by systems user. And if you've got a couple of people lost, that might be unsure, was it Anna or was it somebody else who left who last edited this? So we recommend leaving her blocked and unlicensed user within the tenant, so her name can still be referenced throughout Office 365. And once her departure is a little bit older and she's not likely to be referenced throughout your active documents, you can then delete the user to free up space in the Admin Center. The last point is to make sure that somebody can access those emails. So if she is still getting emails from clients, you can still action those emails and forward them or action whatever needs to be done. That process is through in the Admin Center, going to the Exchange Admin Center. So Exchange is the application behind Office 365 that manages all of the email side of things. So going into the Exchange Admin Center, And that's going to show a list of all of the mailboxes that have multiple people accessing them. So accounts at or info at that multiple people can access. Anna's will now be there as a mailbox that can be shared across people, and double clicking her name will open up a little menu pane that we can actually put delegate rights to. So we can assign ourselves as the admin user and any other key individuals in the company that might need access to her, such as her replacement or her manager. So we give the users that need access to her emails access, and what that's going to mean is that Jo and myself as the admin user will be able to access her emails. So in Outlook, her email address will just appear off to the side through all of the mailboxes that I've got rights to. And in Office 365 in the cloud, you will also now be able to open another mailbox, find Anna's mailbox, and access her emails directly this way. So we can continue to check her emails. Any clients that are still emailing her will still be delivered, and we can then action those emails. So we have now taken a user who's left the business. We have migrated her OneDrive files to a SharePoint library so that more people can access them who have rights. We've taken her mailbox and we've made it a shared mailbox and given delegate rights to multiple users who can still action her emails now that she's left. And we've taken her license away. So that means it's not going to cost the company anything to maintain Anna's presence in your tenant. These are some really key steps, and I hope you've learned something today to make sure that the best outcome for your company when people leave the business. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.